Welcome back, everybody. So we just got done talking about the WNBA examining Las Vegas Aces groundbreaking sponsorships, and now we're going to talk about the latest women's soccer news. Before we get into everything, though, I just wanted to remind you guys to like and follow the show, and you can become a part of our show by tipping and donating. Your support means a lot to us. Also, we do get a number of questions, so to make sure your questions get read on the air and at the top of the list, use the link gsmcpodcast.net. Your support means a lot to us. We do really appreciate it, and it makes a huge difference. Now that we got that out of the way, we are going to start talking about Lynn Williams and all of the recent women's soccer news. A random thought, but I feel like the NWSL doesn't get much attention until the Women's World Cup and FIFA comes around. I feel like suddenly everyone is just like a huge soccer fan out of nowhere. I love it. I love that everyone's a huge soccer fan out of nowhere, but I don't know. I will say I think that the NWSL does need more recognition. They do get their news out there, but you know. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so on Sunday night, Lynn Williams scored her 79th league goal, becoming the National Women's Soccer League all-time scoring leading as Gotham FC earned a last-minute 2-1 win against the Chicago Red Stars at the Red Bull Arena. Williams started to score her record-breaking goal a few times in the first half, which was very, very interesting. She snuck a chance through Chicago's back line in the 5th minute, but the Red Stars cleared it away. In the 18th minute, she had to settle for a corner after her breakaway run was snuffed out. And in the 45th minute, her shot attempt went over the crossbar. In the 57th minute, Jenna Nywanger crossed the bar to Esther Gonzalez at the far post. The forward volleyed it back across the goal for Williams, who headed in a record-setting goal and gave Gotham the lead. Williams now has surpassed Sam Kerr's record across all competitions. The Red Stars equalized in the 74th minute when Penelope Hawking pounced on a loose ball off of a free kick, scoring for the 3rd game in a row. Ella Stevens headed in a 90th minute corner kick to help Gotham extend their unbeaten streak to 5 games. Rose Laville, who missed the first 4 matches with a leg injury, started for the first time since signing with Gotham in the offseason and played 61 minutes. It was great to see her out there, and she obviously played a lot of minutes for her first time out there. While all this was going on, Barbra Banda scored 2 goals as the Orlando Pride defeated the Seattle Reign 3-2 at Lumen Field, putting them at the top of the league to close out the weekend. The Pride remain undefeated and have won 7 straight games, tying an NWSL record set by the Reign in 2014. The Pride and the Kansas City Current are the lone 2 undefeated teams in the league this season. Emily Sams opened the scoring for the Pride in the 9th minute, where scoring her first professional goal from the top of the box. Banda headed an Adriana's cross 10 minutes later, doubling Orlando's lead. Angharad James Turner's shot was deflected into the upper right corner just before the halftime whistle, putting Seattle on the board. Just a few minutes into the second half, Bethany Balser equalized for the Reign. Jess Fisloss sent a pass over the top, which Balser ran onto and finished into the left corner for her 4th kick for her first goal of the year. A Pride corner kick in the 58th minute bounced once in the box before Banda volleyed in her 2nd goal of the match. Banda now has 6 goals and her 2 assists in just 5 NWSL starts. Balser received a 2nd yellow card in the 83rd minute and will miss the Reign's next game, unfortunately. I just wanted to cover that game as well, just very quickly. And I also just really want to quickly go over the rankings for the NWSL teams right now and how they all stand. Ranked first is the Orlando Pride. They won 7 games and tied their other 3 games. Like I said, they are undefeated. They haven't lost a game. Okay, they're not undefeated, but they haven't lost a game yet. At second is the Kansas City Current with 6 wins and 4 draws. So they're not undefeated, but they haven't lost a game yet. At third is Washington Spirit with 7 wins and 3 losses. At fourth is Portland Thorns FC with 6 wins, 1 draw, and 3 losses. At fifth is the Chicago Red Stars with 5 wins, 1 draw, and 4 losses. At sixth is the North Carolina Courage with 5 wins and 5 losses. At seventh is Gotham FC, which we were just talking about, and they have 4 wins, 3 draws, and 2 losses. At eighth is the San Diego Wave FC with 3 wins, 2 draws, and 4 losses. At ninth is Angel City FC with 3 wins, 1 draw, and 5 losses. At 10th is the Racing Louisville FC with 1 win, 6 draws, and 2 losses. And then at 11th is the Bay FC with 3 wins and 7 losses. At 12th is the Houston Dash with 2 wins, 3 draws, and 5 losses. At 13th is the Seattle Reign FC with 2 wins, 1 draw, and 7 losses. And lastly, at 14th is the Utah Royals FC with 1 win, 1 draw, and 8 losses. So no offense, but the Utah Royals and Seattle Reign are not doing so great this year. We'll see how they continue to do. It'll be interesting if they make a comeback. But back to Lynn Williams, scoring her 79th league goal and becoming the National Women's Soccer League's all-time leading scorer is a significant milestone for her as an individual player and for her team. Surpassing Sam Kerr's record places Williams now at the top of the league's history in terms of goals scored. This not only highlights her consistent performance over the years, but also solidifies her place as one of the most influential players in NWSL history. For herself as an individual player, this achievement is a testament to her skill, perseverance, and dedication to the sport. Scoring 79 goals in a professional league is no small feat and speaks volumes about her ability as a forward. This milestone could potentially enhance her reputation and influence within the sport. For her club, Gotham FC, Williams' achievement brings a spotlight and elevates the team's profile in the league and amongst fans. Such moments can boost team morale and fan engagement, contributing positively to the club's atmosphere and commercial opportunities. Also, the club is currently standing in 7th place, but I have a lot of hope and faith that Gotham FC will be able to obtain a lot more wins in the remaining season with, an influential player like Williams. Recognizing Williams as this amazing goal scorer for sure will help the team, and I'm optimistic about the team's potential success in the upcoming games. Before we head to our next segment, I wanted to touch on one last thing in the world of women's soccer. So I filmed a YouTube short on this topic, and I recommend that you check that out on our YouTube shorts if you have not done so. We also give a lot of little updates and quick information on the world of sports, so you should go check out our YouTube shorts. Anyway, Brazil was picked by FIFA to host soccer's 2027 Women's World Cup, a first for South America, and this is very significant in many ways. The FIFA Congress last Friday voted 119-78 for Brazil and the reduced field of 2 candidates to host the 2027 tournament after a joint bid by the US and Mexico was pulled late last month, and South Africa withdrew its candidacy in November. 14-year-old I just lost my train of thought for a second. Anyway, okay, what I just said was South Africa withdrew. Okay, I'm sorry, I just completely anyway, my brain just turned off for a minute. Anyway, this is very significant. It will be the very first time the Global Women's Tournament, first played in 1991, is staged in South America. Brazil was strongly favored to win since October when FIFA brokered deals for the Men's World Cups of 2030 and 2034. It left South American neighbors Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay getting just 1 game each of the 104 in the 2030 tournament that will mostly be co-hosted by Spain, Portugal, and Morocco. A key point for FIFA was clearing the way for its close ally, Saudi Arabia, to get the 2034 World Cup uncontested in a fast-track process. South American soccer bodies CONMEBOL's or CONMEBOL's agreement to take a small part of the 2030 tournament removed it from the subsequent bidding. The U.S.-Mexico decision to opt out and focus on bidding for the 2031 World Cup, that decision is due next year, was another indicator of Brazil's expected to win. The Brazilian bid team hugged and celebrated on the podium after the result was announced and described it as a victory for women's soccer, for their country, and for South America. It's really a huge moment in history. Brazil is a country that is deep-rooted passion for soccer, yet historically this passion has predominantly centered on men's soccer, as we know. Hosting the Women's World Cup could accelerate the development and popularity of women's soccer in Brazil, providing a platform for showcasing local talent and inspiring a new generation of female players. Also, Brazil hosting the tournament can help challenge and potentially change long-standing gender stereotypes in sports within the country. It offers a unique opportunity to promote gender equality in sports and beyond, which reinforces the message that women's sports are just as competitive and deserving of support as men's sports. To add, hosting a global event like the Women's World Cup can bring significant economic benefits to Brazil, including boosts from tourism, investments in infrastructure, and global media exposure. These benefits can have long-lasting impacts on local economies and can help enhance the country's image internationally. Ultimately, by hosting the World Cup, Brazil can solidify its reputation as a country that supports and invests in women's sports, enhancing its status on the international stage. This could lead to further opportunities to host other international competitions and events, and it will be interesting to see if that continues to happen. Brazil Soccer Federation President Arnaldo Rodrigues said before reflecting on recent flooding that has devastated parts of the country, he said, quote, "We are a South American country that achieved the victory for women's soccer. After the things that impact all Brazilians, a catastrophe due to the climate change, our achievement today, the first Women's World Cup in South America, will help strengthen us." So we're now going to dive into our next segment where we talk about some of the U.S. athletes who have already qualified for the 2024 Paris Olympics. Before we get into that, we are going to be taking a very short break, so I will see you guys very soon.